Hopefully hour. Today we have the Moon House number 84, and we will be doing, let's have a look, we will be finishing off this wall. So we did this one in issue 83, and we'll be matching this one up, make sure that we get it straight, hopefully a bit straighter than the other ones. We also have some onions to make, so we will see out of that clay that we got before, so that's kind of cool. Although we might need some paints, don't know. So we have about the animals who escapes from the zoo. So again, got all their sort of things. So Stinky releases them from their cage, or releases the tigers. Releases from the, oh no, releases all of them. Okay, so we've got everything to escaped. That's probably quite a fun thing to read there. So and they enjoy it in freedom for a while. There you go. We're cold in our cages in the zoo. We were at least warm, but what about your freedom? There you go. Cold in our cages in the zoo. Okay, and then we also have about Moomin troll. Dragon. He's dragon, he's got dragon. And the last dragon in the world. And so it tells you a little bit about that. And then we have our instructions of what we're doing, and then how we're going to make our leeks. Onions. Sorry, spring onions these are. Gosh, I'm trying to think what they're called in the States. So spring onions in England, shallots. Alright, let's get on, get all these pieces out and in the order that they want them. So, let's have a look. So we don't really need any other parts other than wood glue, and we will be needing clamps, which I don't have to hand, but I will go and get them. So we have, not that one. We have number 1, and we should have 5 of these. 3, 4, 5. Then this one, which is a separate one. The horizontal strips, which are the smaller ones here, which are going to have the magnets in. So I've got those to one side. I have the magnets, which I'm also going to put to one side, otherwise I'll lose them. We have the longer strips, which are going to connect this to the one we did in 83. And we have these little sides here, which you can't really clamp, so, and the smaller and the larger one, so you've got 2 of those. So all of these will put to one side for the moment, because they're kind of a bit of a later date. And this one too, and we will get on with what we have to do. No, you know, I'm talking crap. We need the 2 long ones. Okay, so let's crack on with this. So let's see. We need to make sure we get the right piece and it's the right way up. So the one with the notch closer will be facing this way, the number pointing that way, number 4. And the same with this one, just make sure that that little notch is the same direction and numbers are pointed in the same way. And then we are going to use all the ones from here, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. So let me get those done, and then we will be using the other one at the top here. So I'm gonna get all of those done at the same time. So I'm just gonna put some wood glue on all of them, and then I'll go and get the clamps, which are actually still sitting on number 83, so they'll definitely be very dry. So we're going to get the clamps afterwards. And then this one will go up here, so I'm not going to glue that one just yet. And just want to make sure that they are in all the way. So numbers again pointing upwards. Just checking myself there. Maybe I should put it on this one first actually. Hold it in place a bit better. I had them way too far apart. Oh, I can't get that one in. There we go. And it doesn't really matter if you've got any leakage for what they're doing. I mean, it literally is the frame. You're then going to have things like wallpaper on it and paneling and things like that, so it will hide any glue mishaps. It's not like you're painting. I'm going to turn this around the other way. That's just making work for myself here. There we go. And then the next one, making sure all the numbers are pointing the right way. Not that one. Almost did the same as what I did last time. I really want to put that one in. And now I'm going to put this end one in so that starts drying. Nice and quick, she says. And then going to put the bottom one in. Going to get the magnets in. Okay. Then I'm going to glue this one as well, again with the number going upwards. I can see the top part needs adjusting. Also, I will do that in one tickety boo. This isn't far enough down, but it is in. Okay, those can go to one side. So it then wants you to put these vertical strips on, which I'm going to be doing, but I want to put the magnets in first. I know they get you to do it afterwards, I just think it's easier if it's flat here. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. Push that in, because that was coming away. And hopefully by the time we've done the magnets it will be pretty stable. And this piece will connect to the other one. So the little hook thing is the part that's going to connect. And just put my wood glue in like we've done before. In all of them. Get this. And then I will go and get the clamps. Because this will be done until we connect it. I need to open this too. Okay. Yeah. If I could separate one out. It joined the other pile. Of course it did. Oh, they all did. Well, now we've got one whole strap. And because it's a magnet, you can attach it to your tool. I mean, I'm sure you're probably not necessarily meant to use a tool and you're meant to just push it in by hand, but this makes it a lot easier. And then we will attach this to it and let it dry before we connect it. And while we're doing that, we're trying to make these vegetables. I don't know what my paints are going to be like. I haven't used paints for a long time. I've been using the acrylic paint, which wouldn't really work with this. I'm trying to see that? I was trying to do it the other way. Wow. Wow. Okay, stay. Getting glue all on me. This is the last wall for the house, then all the walls are done. Which is kind of cool. It's raining here. I've got to go out soon. I was actually going to take the pups with me to take her for a walk, but I don't think I will be. Not that I go far, but I do have to go and do something. Just waiting for a phone call to say when. I mean, these magnets feel really strong, but I mean, I've put them on the house and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure when it's all stuck down and everything, it will all come together. I know the Disney Doll's House magnets, they weren't very good. I mean, it was more kept on with the other parts that secured it, really. going to get that on our beam here and then put the clamps on. Let's make sure that's down. Okay, we are good. We've got quite the storm going on. And we want the pieces, like I say, the hook piece here is going towards the bottom, so you can see it's got like a little hook. This piece will go up the top. Just checking myself here. Yep, with the magnets on the outside. So this one won't be facing the lettering. It won't be the same way, it's going to go inwards, whereas this one will. So just make sure, like I say, the hooks, they're not really hooks, but you see what I mean, that end with a tiny bit compared to the longer one. The longer bit goes at the top here. Okay, so let's get this going, and then we'll add clamps everywhere. Take it off the other one, and then we'll get the two of them put together. But we'll try and make these vegetables in the meantime. I will see if I've got any paint, so I don't even know if I have any, so they don't supply them. So the only paint that this build supplied was right at the beginning, which was the tan colour that I used on the bread. So if you've seen any of my videos, it was on that one, and that was provided by them. I used to have paints, I just don't really use them. I wouldn't say that I'm particularly great at painting. So let's put that on again. Yay. Having troubles. There we go. Just make sure they're down and up in this case. And then we go to the other side. Should have just glued it all at the same time, and then it could have been starting to get a bit tacky. I probably could use tacky glue on this as well, but wood glue is the recommended. So look, I went all the way down on this one for no reason. So I want to get rid of that, because when I do use the other pieces, we want it to be able to stick to it. Okay, magnets on the outside. Should put the lid on the lid on the glue. Words really are tough sometimes. You have no idea. Good times. And then I'm gonna, like I say, get the clamps on here. That top one doesn't want to stay on. Make sure they're fully on the way in, which this one also doesn't want to do. Wow, I knocked it off then. That was me. Why did I lift it up with the piece I just literally put on? Okay, so let's try that again. Got enough on the end there. They've all come out. So I am going to go and get those clamps and get all this clamped in, so they will be alright. Okay, I'll be back in a moment with our clay. Right, just to show you, see, most of it didn't need clamps, just a few here and there where it come a little bit loose. I'm going to put some on the bottom here just to make sure that it doesn't move, because I can see that this one's moved a little bit. And then we go and get that clay, if I can do it. I'll see if I've got the paint. If not, we will come back to doing this. I'll put an extra clip on here. Sorry about that noise. And on here, these are the bigger clips, just to make sure. Okay, alright, I will leave that to dry and go and see what I can do about this clay. Alright, so they say you can make as many as you want of these, but then they only show 2. Also, in issue 87, we will be making some herbs, and I'm guessing that's going to be from clay as well. And you make 3 herbs. And where this goes is the string that we attach, and now I wonder if I read the instructions wrong, to the front of here, each side, is where they will attach to, and you put them on that string. And you glue them on, so it's not a big deal. You can tie them on and then glue them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue mine onto the front of that string once they're all dry and everything. So I don't 100% understand what they're doing. So they say to mix a green and a yellow together, which I don't know why, and then you're going to end up with a colour similar to kind of this, I guess. So I'm just going to go with this being my leaves of it and this being the bulb, and then I'm just going to make, maybe I'll make 3, you know, somewhere in between. So first of all, you start off by getting a small amount, making it into a circle. So what the words I was thinking of: spring onion, green onions, or I think you could call them shallots. So they say make it into a circle. Mine was just perfect then. And then, sorry, my dog's actually on the same chair as me, leaning up at me. Then get a toothpick, which I put them somewhere safe. Like, I can't find one to hand. Hold on. Well, can't find one to hand, so I'm just going to use a dowel thing and put that into it and then pull it out as such to elongate it, which I kind of did, so you have a small tip, something like that, I guess. Like that. That's what I think it means, something like that. So I'm going to make 3 of those little balls. Then they say to let this clay dry, which is another weird thing I don't understand. And then all I'm using is the stuff that I got from the dowels. I don't know where my toothpicks are. Probably put away. And then push it. Then you're going to make the leaves as such. Whoops, came totally out of shape. Oh dear. Sometimes when I'm rolling it, the shape seems better. Hey, what about something like that? Could have something like that, couldn't we? A deformed green bean. Green bean, spring green, green onion. Gosh, can't get the word in there right. Anyway, basically you want a pinch taken out the top to make it, and they push it through. But when I tried to do that, I didn't want to do that. Nope, doesn't want to work that way. It's probably because I'm not using the toothpick. Oh, well, I've almost got one the shape I want now, so I'm just going to round this bit off at the bottom. I don't mind doing this sort of thing, really. A little bit more round, I think, at the bottom there. Maybe I should just go and find a toothpick. I'll tell you what I use. I got a pin. I'll use a bloody pin. Oh, if I can get it out. Okay, let's put this back into a ball. So they're not meant to be big, they're meant to be quite small, probably a lot smaller than I'm making them. And put a toothpick through so you've got a little pointy end bit that you can just about see. And then when I pull it through, it goes through again. Or maybe I can just do a little pull on it or something. Yeah, something like that. Be alright. Something like that. And then do a third one. Maybe I should put those dowels away. They belong to it anyway. Oh, there's a toothpick. No, they're dowels too. I do have loads. Just go and put them away. And then we're going to take a little bit of clay and we're going to colour it green. Okay, that's fine. I want enough left to do my herbs, and it's got 3 different types of herbs by the looks of it. Where did that go? There it went. think these are way too big. They look big compared to the other people with the picture. Alright, then you take another little bit of the white and you mix a tiny bit of green and yellow. Don't get the yellow, so I'm not doing that. And put a little bit of paint with it. And it will be a tiny bit, probably about that much, and then make it go all the way through. Get yourself dirty on the way. Maybe this is where I should be wearing gloves too. Oh, didn't go as far as that other stuff. I was coming out a bit pale. Well, colour my hands now. Sticky too. Hopefully that's all I need. It's kind of got a ripple effect going on, so it's not as combined as theirs. And theirs is a lot darker than mine. Mine's very pale. Wow, I should wear gloves. Beautiful. Hopefully I've done enough. I'm getting more to the colour now, aren't we? Alright, let me go and wash my hands, see if I can find a finger to pause. Well, pretty much got it out, except for underneath the nails. And then a tiny bit of white as well. Both of which you are going to make flat, basically. Well, that's a lot of white in comparison. But you're both going to make flat with an overlap. Way too much white. Alright. Just roll it out like a rolling pin. No, I don't use a pin. And then you will cut out rectangles. Basically, it says about 30mm. That's 3 centimeters. Well, don't think I'm going to have enough green. Okay, I'm going to go and get gloves now. Alright, let's make a bit more. Got plenty of it, it's not like we don't. Make a lot now. So, hold on. Right, this time I am going to mix green and yellow. There we go. Special. Oh, if I've got any yellow in here. Been quite a while since I've used paints. Oh, and then a lot came out. Slimy. Doesn't look much better than the other one, does it? Won't be using this paper again. Okay, kind of in there with some ripples is probably fine. Dog hair, yeah, sure. Then flatten it against the other one. Let's get some more white. Don't blame me if you don't do this. There's a mix going on. Well, we need it a bit flatter. I'm thinking what I can use. Maybe one of these. They're disposable anyway. Almost like rolling out pastry. So things like this are pretty much optional. I mean, some are easier than others. We like to give things a go. Whether I will after the event is a whole nother story. So let's get the lids on the pens, paints even. Wait, give that back. And then we cut them out from the white and the red. About 30 millimeters even, per I think, by about 1. And then you probably roll these up, but only long ways so that you've got some of the white still. That's what I'm guessing we are doing. I will be replacing this paper. Yeah, and then roll it together. I am going to have some huge onions. Cut that there. Cut that up there. I don't think we need them quite that big. And then cut it in half basically. There's got to be a better way. Maybe I'll only make one. Maybe I was a little bit too enthused with this. Okay, maybe if we make 2 like this, thinny ones, and then we'll stick them together. Right, so let's get a bit of white with this one going on. Get it a lot thinner. And then we stick it onto the bulb, and that's all there is to it, right? And you can choose your own shape. Don't have to, you know, they could be wonky spring onions. And then just join these 2 together, like so. Something like that. Maybe with, oh my gosh. This may not be my skill set. Let's just say that. But now it hasn't got enough green again. Get rid of some of that white. And I don't think that's it all for the job because it just wants to stick. So basically, you want to have 2 pieces. See if scissors work. Ha! Scissors! Scissors! Like, stay away. Oh, come on. I had it. So something like that, and then put it on your bottom of the bulb and let them harden. They say let the bulb and glue it together with wood glue, but I don't, and let the onion bit harden. I'm telling you what the instructions say, not what I'm doing. So scissors do work quite well. I think I've got too much green here. Right, and all I'm going to do is make 3 of them. I'll show you in a minute. Alright, we have 3. So I'm going to tidy up now, change this paper out, throw all this away, wash my hands again, put these paints to one side, and we will be back with that frame. I am glad, to be honest with you, I'm glad I did it. And I do actually think they look okay. Not the, you know, prettiest, but, you know, I'm sure if I was growing them in my garden, they wouldn't be either. So there you have it. I will bring the frames back, put them together, get those strips on, and we are done. All right, that was a fun, different to what we have been doing. So back to our frame. So this last time, I think I put this one in upside down and I replaced it, but it hadn't quite taken, so I've kept that in. So they say about 1 centimeters dowels that we're going to need, and we're basically going to stick the part we did today with the one we did on number 73. Excuse excuse me, losing my voice. So about those. All I did was use one of the other dowels. I didn't use the new ones that they provided. So let's get my wood glue ready to go. And I'm going to put it in the small one, you know, the one with the thing already there, the clamp. And then we are going to clamp this one good, because last time I think it got a little bit, went skew whiff on the edges here. It's okay, it's nothing major. And I can't remember if we decided to put these in or not put these in, to be honest with you, first. But that's the way I'm rolling right now. And the third one, but in you go. I'm just going to poke them all the way through, even though I know I put wood glue on. And then I'm going to wood glue all along the edge here, where they're going to meet. Doesn't need a ton, just needs enough. Oop, straight over the side. And some in here. Make sure it gets up the side of these ones. Some in here. A lot more in here and the edge there. Some in here. I'd rather be cleaning it off than not cleaning it off. Some here. Some here. I actually think the onions turned out to be alright. I mean, they're taking maybe a day to dry. I think it took about a day for the bread. And I think they'll be alright. I'm interested with what they're going to do with the herbs. If it's something like that, I will think about whether I want to do it, or whether I want to see if I can find some miniature herbs for a doll's house or something. Alright, so making sure that these are all lined up and are reasonably flat, especially here, which is where I went wrong last time, and I know it bowed a little. I'm going to put those in and make sure that those have the heavier clamps, and then I'm going to worry about the dowels in a moment. So I can see already there is a difference here. Oh, don't do what I just did. Whatever you do, don't do what I just did, because I split the bloody thing. More glue then. Don't do that. I mean, like I say, this does kind of hide a lot of sins, thank God. It's a bit like that, isn't it? Right. Okay. So we want one in from, just trying to work out how to do this, especially now I've broken the piece. Wouldn't be the first, you should have seen my roof. You probably did see my roof. But at the end it will still look fine. That's the beauty of these models. I'll leave that like that for a second while I make sure that this other side is lined up. It's a lot better than the other one. Another one of the bigger clamps. Ugh. Make sure we get it straight. I'm going to give this one of the bigger ones too. As I get a little one. Where did I put the big one? Oh, let's just not pick it up. Okay. And bring another big one out. Yeah. So I'm just making sure that as much of this is on as we want. And then we can struggle with these dowels. So I can see this isn't lined up in the middle. I'll take this off a second. Okay. Let's get this middle one in. this one, and then I just have to make sure it's totally square, which this one's coming out slightly, and this will take some of the smaller ones here. I want a bigger one in there, don't I, really? Maybe I'll put a bigger one in here because this one, the end wants to come out. Breathe, breathe. I swear I really do make a mountain out of a molehill on some of the times on these things. And then this will be done, and it can go and wait in the corner. I will probably, or wait for drying, I will probably in about 10 minutes or so switch these clamps around and have the bigger ones in the middle there, just to make sure that it's thick. Broken one, wasn't it? There we go. Let's check this. It's definitely not perfect. See if I can get a clamp on there. I'll do it from this angle instead. Right, and there we are. So that is done. I think it's going to dry fine. I'll put one on this end too, just to make sure. Don't think it overly needs one, and this piece is fine now. All right, so so that's all done. You know, I was so keen to get done, I forgot about these little strips, so let me get those sorted. So get this, get them separated like we did before. Sandpaper, which I couldn't find in my file. Like I say, the better way is to do it with it lying down, not this, because it's easy to bend this way and break. And you've seen how I break things, so really I should take my own advice. It's 1, 2, right, another 2. Try not to rush because I really don't want to break them. Just make sure they feel smooth under your hands. I swear that paint's taking a layer off of my skin or something. It looks really weird. I've had them a long time. Probably about 4 years. I used to, during COVID, I did plant pots where you break them and you decorate them a fairy garden. And my sister and I spent months and months while we were looking after our mother doing basically the fairy gardening, and we had a whole patio full of these broken pots, which it looked great. It was fantastic. Unfortunately, we couldn't maintain it after the event, but yeah. So you want 1 short and 1 long for each one. Right, so this is the top and the other end is the bottom. You want the long one towards the bottom on the other side of the magnet. So you can see here, the magnets are here and you're going to put it this side. Same as what we did before, to be honest. So I'm going to pull these off for now. Right, it's good that this one wanted off anyway. Because I can't put these on afterwards, not the ones on the end. I mean, I tried, didn't I, last time, and I just couldn't get it to work. So you just want it to be on the front edge. There isn't a right or wrong way. Except you want it down to the bottom, like so. I super glued, I believe, it last time to make sure that it was on just where the join is, but I only had to do that on one. So the best way is just to leave it to one side and let the wood glue do its job. Oops, can't do a straight line. Ah! Okay, you know the yellow lines that you see on the roads where it's like the linesman was drunk or something, putting them down? That's me. Me and glue. Oh, 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 I can't do it. I mean, seriously. Right, and then a little bit on the end where it's going to join the short one. If I could pick it up. My hands feel really dry as well. Paint. But it was fun to do. It was different. It was crafty, and you know, I don't mind a bit of craftiness. Let's try and get it in some of the glue that I seem to have put everywhere. Make sure it's even at the bottom is the most important thing. Excuse me. I think my hands just need a really good soak right now. Now I remember, I think I could get a small one in on one of the ends. Yeah, but not this one. And then this, put this one on to match. Well, let's push it over. You would just go clampless. I could get my masking tape out, I guess, and hold it in place with that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Alright, let's do that. At least then we know it'll be straight. And attached, which is the more important part. And then once it's dry, we'll just take that off. Masking tape's pretty good with things like this. I'd love to clamp it in reality, but it makes it bow. So this one's sticking out the top here a little bit. Or is it? I don't know. I'll have a look. If it is, then you just have to file it down, basically. And then I'm going to get this heavier clamp back on this piece, because I want to make sure that this goes proper. The middle join bit. And I'll have to do the same on this side that broke. I broke. Right, let's see. Straight line. Yeah, sure. So this is the bottom, so I have that longer piece. Gosh. Should just put it on the wood, but then I'd put my hands all in it anyway. Anyway, and this is the last bit of this video. And then we can have a look at what is to come. And I will get this one masking tape the same, and then have the edge sorted. So just make sure it's on at the bottom and all lined up. Basically, it's just got to be off the magnets really, and as close as you can to the edge. I can see that one's moved down the bottom there. Woohoo! Went right over. I don't think it's bowed. User error. That's where I want a clamp, like so. I think I'll put a big one on here as well. Okay, now let's put the smaller one on. Get it to line up. You can see it's not lined up. Of course they touched each other. Of course they did. Which makes you think this is not on right. Right, one here. They've stuck together again. One on the joint here. There we go. Now we get the bottom one done. Really? Almost done. Almost. And then I'm just going to leave it to dry and try it on the, or put it on the house actually a bit later, but not properly, just so make sure that if it is bowed anywhere that I can pick it up. Alright, so that is that done. Lovely piece of artwork. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Let's have a look at what we have coming up. If you choose to do the onions, good luck. And 85 is going to be, let's have a look. The front door, I'm assuming this is, which is a lot plainer than the other one. I would have rather have a little bit of glass in it. Oh, and a window. Sweet. Sweet. I don't know which window, which one. Ground floor window of the witch wall. It's the fourth of 6 windows on the ground floor. And it's going to be fixed to the rear wall. It says the rear door, but it means the rear wall, I'm sure. And this is for, oh, this is a back door. Okay. So it's just the veranda. That looks very nice. All right, that is to come. Like I say, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying the build. Good luck with the onions. Good luck for all of us with the herbs next time. Or it's not even next time, it's not until 87. And if you've got any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them either in the comments section, or you can email me at opallyhour@outlook.com. Please remember to like and subscribe, it helps the channel massively, and most of all, do take care of yourselves.